Good morning everybody, welcome to SA Overlander. This morning we decided just to go on a little trip to the Maanhaar Meander, to the Breetsnek Pass. So far it is not for the average car. You should have a proper 4x4 to do it with enough clearance. It's not extreme, but it is not for a normal car. This pass is also well known for its mountain biking, and there's a whole lot of mountain biking trails on hiking trails on the Maanhaar Rand here. We accessed it through the Buffelspoort Dam area, and we're going to show you a few things. We're going to go right to the top and have David Edwards. He's a historian on the area. Going to tell us a bit about the war, and we're going to go to a few old English fort. It's in ruins now, but we're going to go to that area and just show you a bit of footage there. And then as well we're going to go show you a water fountain. I will not disclose the location because people trash the place, and we try to keep it clean. And afterwards we're going to go to a little undisclosed spot, so I'll give you some footage for it. It's private property, which is the only property right inside the Maanhaar Rand itself. And afterwards we're going to go down the other side to the west Rand side, down the mountain, down the pass, to a little restaurant called Meat and Eat. It's a little farm restaurant. It's an amazing little restaurant, and we'll introduce you to the restaurant there too. Like any overlander, we cannot sit still, so this was a last moment thing, and see you on top. So I've got Mr. David Edwards here. He's a history buff on this area, and I should call him professor, because there was a lot of activity here during the Boer War, especially here in Breetsnek, and I'm going to hand over to him just to quickly tell you a little bit about the history.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a historian or a history buff, thank you very much. But I do love exploring, and I do love finding out what has gone before us, wherever I travel. Now, Breetsnek has always been, for thousands of years, a gateway for people on foot or with livestock through the Magaliesberg, as you can pass through from south to north. The battle that Joel is referring to in the Anglo-Boer War was Nooit Gedacht, and was fought on the 13th of December 1900. And the path we drove up on, which is called Breetsnek, which means wide pass, is a road that you can only really access with a 4x4 or very high ground clearance in these days. And it was a road that was pivotal to the battle. What I would suggest you do, because Joel's asked me to keep it fairly short, is simply go on Google and type in Nooit Gedacht or Battle of Nooit Gedacht, and you will then get a very clear description of what happened. If you then come to the top of Breetsnek and park your car, you'll then have a better understanding from viewpoints of what occurred. But very simply, the British at Nooit Gedacht had been camped for a couple of weeks. They were busy clearing out Boers, families, and burning down houses due to the scorched earth policy. And the reason they were camped at Nooit Gedacht is one of the few permanent water sources on the southern side of the Magaliesberg. They placed pickets on top of the mountain near where the current Telkom tower is, and a force under Bayers of about 500, 600 went up the mountain the night of the 12th, and the battle resumed the morning of the 13th, where they shot the British and threw them off the kopje. Delaray on the southern side with approximately, and Jan Smuts with approximately another 1,000, attacked in two different directions. And the head of the British, Clements, he was forced to retire, and the reason he managed to successfully retire was because the Boers, once they had the wagons, lost all discipline and the food and the brandy and the clothes, and had far more interest for them. Otherwise, it would have been a 100% victory. But as I say, it's a lot of detail, it's very interesting, and it's all accessible. Just Google it.
Well, thank you, David, for the short intro that you gave us here. And from here we're going to move to the top, and we're going to go to the old fort. I wouldn't say it's a fort, it's like an encampment.
No, what it is the British, after Nooitgedacht, and to secure the Krugersdorp and the Moot region of the Magaliesberg, created blockhouses across the landscapes, like mini forts, manned by generally about 12 people. And they were broken down, majority of them, afterward.
Well, thank you. We'll see you on top. Well, we've reached the top of the Breetsnek, and the road has deteriorated so much over the last year. I will not advise, if you don't have any serious skills, to come up the Buffels from the Buffelspoort side. It's terrible, but that is what we live for, and it's exciting. So we're going to the fort now. Well, it's the ruins of a fort, and if you want to reach the top, rather come up from the Magali side. It's much better. Because most of it is graded and so forth. But no, don't take the Buffelspoort side if you don't have the guts for it. Here we arrived at the old English fort. It's all ruins now. It's got an inner circle, which was obviously a lot higher. And then they had an outer circle, which they used for, it's like a trench, where they would hide behind when the Boers attacked. So there was a big, as Dave Edwards explained, there was a big stuff up here in the mountains against the Boers for the English. That's our history. It's a colourful history. The area that we are standing on is Blockhouse 46, and if I go in the Christmas Kloof, and on top of the mountain there was Blockhouse number 47 and 48 down the left on the blockhouse, so they were protecting the flanks of the square blockhouse on top of the hill. Well, we're done here. Now we're going to go down the pass, and then we're going to go to a little place called Meat and Eat. Well, here we arrived at a little restaurant called Meat and Eat. It's actually also a butchery on the farm here in Magaliesburg. A very nice place. So now we're going to enjoy some lunch. Well, we had a lovely afternoon here at Meat and Eat, the Magalies. So it's a real wonderful spread to have here, and it's very affordable. So yeah, when you come up the mountain, you just do yourself a favor and come and stop here and support them out here. And yeah, just another little thing. The road down the mountain was not that great as I thought, because obviously in a year's time it has changed a lot. So once again, 4x4s only up there. Minimum have a diff lock, otherwise you will get stuck. The road is very, very rough. And yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next outing.